We're going to call this meeting to order. This is the Madison County Board of Education, and today is May the 9th, 2024. I'd like to call the meeting to order. And I want to make sure before you guys came in, there was our agenda on the outside of the door. If you'd like to grab one, or if you've already grabbed one, you can follow along. We also put it up on our wall so that you guys can see the video board. So follow along with us. Next is our vision statement. Ms. Cobb, would you like to read that, please?
Sure. Madison County Schools, in partnership with the community, strives to equip educators and students with the skills to lead by example, develop and speak with a unique voice, and explore their academic curiosity to make a positive impact on our community and world.
Thank you, Ms. Cobb. All right, number 3 in our agenda today is one of our most beloved items, and it's always one of my favorites. So it's our showcase, and Dr. Gillen, would you like to introduce our Madison Kindergarten Academy?
Sure. Tonight's student showcase is the Madison Kindergarten Academy. We have students from the Firefly team and the Chameleon team. They have joined together to perform our state song, My Old Kentucky Home. After singing the state song, students will have a special surprise song that they are excited to share with all of us. The students are led by music teacher Corey Neal, and they hope you enjoy our state song and their sweet voices. Mr. Neal and Madison Kindergarten Academy, take it away.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Corey Neal. I am the music teacher at the Madison Kindergarten Academy, and I have a few friends with me today. Almost 50, not quite. And we have a couple songs we're really excited to share for you. It's almost become tradition at this point when we do our board showcase. We have 2 songs for you. Our first one, My Old Kentucky Home. We take and spend some time learning all about Kentucky and music and in our school with the jockey parades and the Kentucky Derby happening last week. And when we learn it, we like to show it off a little bit. And, well, I like to think we're pretty good at it. What do you think, boys and girls? Yeah? Yeah, it's okay. All right. Our second song for you, parents, some of you know it because, well, you've had kids with me before. But our second song is a really special song that I told them to keep a secret. Now, if you've ever told kids to keep a secret from their parents, it goes one of 2 ways. It's either great and they're lips sealed, or they went home and told them immediately. Either way, though, our second song, I'll make them wait just a little bit until they learn all of the words because it's just such a sweeter message whenever they all do it. All right. Are we all in here? I think so. All right. Now, boys and girls, you know how Mr. Neal's been teaching you about how at graduation, I'm going to do everything really far away so everybody gets good pictures? Well, there's too many people in here for that. So here's what Mr. Neal's going to do. Ready? Oh, I'm going to get way down here like you guys are, but you're going to stand up, okay? You're going to stand up, though, okay? Stand up. Ready? Can you turn your eyes on me? Let's start and sing our first song, My Old Kentucky Home. Ready? Can you plant your feet like 1, 2? We do that because at graduation we stand on the stairs. Can you turn your eyes on me? Put your hands like this, and let's sing our state song together. Ready? Here we go. The sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home. This summer, the people are gay. The corn tops right, and the lilies in the blue. While the birds make music all the day. Good job, keep going, ready? The young folks School board members, I don't think you're gonna know him, but trust me, we do. All right, this time, let's do it like we practiced at graduation. Ready? Mr. Neal's gonna start right here, but then so everybody can get good pictures, I'm gonna go all the way to the back. Ready? Turn your eyes on me. Ready? Here we go. Ready? Look at me. Keep going. Ready? Excellent job. Hey, boys and girls, can you turn around? You guys have asked me a lot who Mr. Neal's boss is. Do you see the guy? Do you see the guy who's a little bit like Mr. Neal?
So I need to know something. How's Mr. Neal doing? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Awesome. Absolutely he is. Great job, Mr. Neal.
Boys and girls, ready? You are going to follow me.
Okay.
We're going right back out.
Mr. Neal, hold on. Before you move, I want to make sure that all these parents got pictures. So let them just look at your, stay where you are. Look at your folks. Let's make sure that they got the pictures they need. Okay?
This poor little girl
All right.
right here.
I think we're good.
So little.
I think we're good. Thank you, Mr. Neal. Great job, guys.
Yay, good job. Good job. Good job. Good job, you guys. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job.
Good job.
Good job.
What a turnout.
Good job. She pointed. She looked right at you and just cackled like, you're the boss. You're the boss.
Everyone takes so funny. Similar and clears. Somebody set off a monkey.
It's fun when I'm out at MKA. Yeah. A lot of times kids will come out. Mr. Neal, wait, you're not Mr. Neal. You look like Mr. Neal.
Do they really? Or better known as the president.
Oh, really? Neat. Sixth grade. Sixth grade major.
That's exciting.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you for telling
for
us.
coming.
It's
That's
been a
been
good school.
great.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, we're going to keep the meeting going even though they're walking out. So thank you guys that have stayed. We appreciate it. The room is cleared mostly. All right. Number 4 on our agenda tonight is audience comments. So Tammy, do we have anybody? Thank you. No, we do not. So we'll move on to our consent agenda. These are the items that the board sees regularly and we are very familiar with, as you guys know. Items to be approved tonight on our consent agenda are, I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Y'all can hear me back there, right? Okay. I know I'm loud too. So 5A, the minutes of the April 11th, 2024 meeting. 5B, claims. 5C, superintendent's personnel actions. 5D, leaves of absence. 5E, our technology surplus. 5F, the following out-of-state field trips. 5FA, the Madison Central High School Junior Classical League trip to Knoxville, Tennessee on July 22nd through the 27th, 2024. 5FB, the B. Michael Cottle Archery trip to Daytona Beach, Florida on June the 5th through the 9th, 2024. 5FC, the Boonesboro Elementary School Archery trip to Daytona Beach, Florida on June 5th through the 9th, 2024. 5FD, the Madison Central High School Archery team trip to Daytona, Florida on June 5th through the 9th, 2024. 5FE, the Ignite Academy North Skills USA trip to Atlanta, Georgia on June 24th through the 29th, 2024. And 5G, the acknowledge the review of the revised procedures 09.422 AP.21, 09.42811 AP.1, 09.42811 AP.2, and 09.42811 AP.21. So I just want to remind everybody that we've had this agenda for about a week, and we've had plenty of time to go over it, ask questions. So if you find that we're not asking questions up here right now, that's why we've probably already asked our questions, very knowledgeable. So are there any other questions that we possibly might have on our consent agenda tonight? No? All right, if not, then I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Ms. Brock. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Rutherford. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Next, we have our monthly reports. 6A on our agenda, we have our instruction report. Tonight, we have Angela Gabbard, our district reading coach. She's going to provide us our instruction report tonight. It's gotten much quieter now for you.
Hi, thank you. I am Angela Gabbard. I'm a district instructional literacy coach. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to tell you a little bit about the work I do in our elementary schools, specifically our primary grades, kindergarten, first, and second. My work really has one main focus. I support teachers so that we can help kids set instructional goals and reach them. This year, there have been three major areas that I have focused work around. The first would be curriculum and standards. So when we think about our Kentucky academic standards and what those standards say about the Big Five in literacy, I help teachers understand that and break that down. And when we talk about the Big Five, just in case you're not familiar with that language, that's phonemic awareness, where we talk about sounds, just sounds that words make. We talk about phonics, how letters and sounds work together. We talk about fluency, how reading sounds, the speed, the accuracy. We talk about vocabulary and reading comprehension. We also, within curriculum and standards, we talk about how are we assessing those standards and how are we using that assessment data to drive our instruction and make sure that our students are achieving what we expect, and if they're not, what are our next steps? Another area of focus that I have is instruction. Now, when we think about that, there are two main areas within that. The first is whole group. You might hear the term Tier 1 instruction. That's what all students get access to. That's our Kentucky standards and how we deliver high-quality instructional practices. I help teachers make sure we are delivering good questioning. We're giving students appropriate feedback. Kids are getting discussion opportunities within the classroom that are rich. We are providing good teacher modeling, giving plenty of opportunity for direct instruction, all those things. Another area that I focus on is what you might hear called Tier 2 instruction, which would be our small group. So once we deliver that Tier 1 instruction, Sometimes it's necessary to go in and look at data and provide another level of support. That's our small group instruction, so it's very much data-driven for kids. Another area that I have worked quite a bit with this year is Senate Bill 9. Using the guidance of Senate Bill 9, we have looked at data and created reading plans for students who qualified, and those reading plans were very domain specific. So when we looked at different sources of data, we would decide, thinking about those big five, where did the student show that they needed intensive intervention? We would provide that intervention, and then we would check with progress monitoring, look at that as a team. So it was a great opportunity to really dig into what our kids needed. Now, there are 11 elementary schools, so there's one of me, and you may wonder how I carry that work out, so I thought I would share that. I attend PLCs with our primary grades. I attend after-school meetings. I have team plannings. Lots of times you're going to find me co-teaching. It's not unusual for me to be sitting right alongside a teacher doing guided reading, or they may even look at me during a lesson and say, "What do I do?" And I'll say, "Well, let me give it a try. Let's see what happens." We work together. I do lots of classroom observations where teachers will say, "I want you to watch for this. Tell me what I can do better. Tell me if this was the right language." Another thing, and our teachers are amazing, they will let me do swivel video lessons where I can go in and set the camera up, video them, and we will use that video for a PLC. So our teachers are willing to do that. That's the best PD we can have. I try to be accessible for teachers. It isn't uncommon for a teacher to call me at 8 o'clock at night and say, "Hey, I wanted to tell you what happened today. What do you think I can do with this tomorrow?" That's not uncommon. I love that. It's also not uncommon for me to call the teacher and say, "Hey, I love the way you did this whole group lesson. Would you mind if I popped in next week and did a video of that so I could share that at PLC?" So it's kind of a two-way street, the work that I do and the work that the teachers do. We have the best teachers in Madison County, and I'm fortunate to work alongside them. I have an office space, but I'm rarely there, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
You're a rock star.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank
you.
you.
Thank you so
Very
much.
much so. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
All right, next on our agenda is 6B, our construction report. We'll start with Jonathan Smith with Branscombe Construction. Going to give us an update on our Madison Middle project.
Not all these people are here to hear the construction. So they left.
They're home now watching.
Okay. I thought they
Yes.
were.
I will bet money those little kids would have loved the tour yesterday.
They
in the
would have,
water.
and it was good to have some of the board members, Dr. Gillum, Mr. Neely, and Chris was there. We took y'all on a tour of kind of where we're at, progress has been made, and still the progress yet to come on the project, and everything's shaping up, even though we've had some undesirable weather over the last few weeks, but we're wading through it, literally, so. But just want to give you a quick update. This is behind the gym. This is the actual cafeteria area. That area's been decked. And there's actually a rooftop unit that's been set. It was set Tuesday on site. You all saw that when you were there on site, but that's that area behind. The roofer is actually going to start on other parts of the building. They're going to be there Monday to start. This is actually the roof of the gym. It's already been roofed. Y'all saw that Tectum sound decking in the gym when you all were there, but the roof on the top, this is just a picture of the roofing. It's actually been laid on the gym itself. The gym roof is actually dried in. This is a picture standing on the mechanical mezzanine and behind the cafeteria looking out towards area A. That was that wall they were laying on while we were there. That wall actually ties areas A and corridor C together. There's actually a precast plank that comes along that, and I'll show you the mechanical mezzanine that we were up on here shortly. But that will tie all that area together, and y'all actually saw how much space is up there on that mechanical mezzanine and what work has already went in on that mechanical area. This is just a different direction looking back at that wall. They're getting it laid up, and they were setting steel as they laid the block up. And the last delivery of precast will be here the first week of June. So they'll get those corridor walls laid up and be ready for precast the first week in June when it arrives. This is a wall back on area C, as I said, where it all ties together. They've got to get those two areas laid up, and then they'll lay the tile walls between. You can see there in the kind of in the background, they're starting to lay up one of those corridor walls. It was up about 3 or 4 feet, so that's continuing to be laid. Still a lot of masonry work going on, a lot of steel being set. Has been a lot done, but there's still some to do, so they are still on site. We actually started the brick on Area D. They laid the brick at the foundation level. They're getting their flashing in. Then the insulation that sprays on the wall will start probably midweek next week, barring weather. And then we'll start with face brick coming up. So you'll see a change over the next 30 days if the weather cooperates with us. This is where you come up to that mechanical mezzanine in Area C. You can actually access that. That's one of the mechanical mezzanines in Area C, and you can see the blue ends. That's the ductwork where they don't have it tied in. Obviously, units are not set, but they're getting that ductwork hung. Of course, you're keeping that ductwork covered so it doesn't get dust, dirt in it. So when we're ready, you've got nice, clean ductwork when we hook the system up. This is upstairs in that mechanical mezzanine, looking back towards part of Area C. Till you get up there, you really don't realize how much space there is in that mechanical mezzanine, and looking down, they were running some conduit that day that we took that picture there. And this is just looking back towards the fields. Not been a lot of work down there because of weather, but they are, as you can see, that mound of rock is just about gone. They've been hauling it out. Weather cooperates, we're gonna start foundations on the field houses probably next week, so we'll be getting that work underway. We were actually gonna start this week, but weather just didn't allow us to start that. So those should start next week if the weather cooperates. So progress overall is good. Like I said, the roofer will start next week on some of the areas. We'll start getting areas totally dried in on the roof. So they will be there, and there's plenty of work for them to do over the next several weeks. So work is progressing nicely, even though we've kind of encountered the weather, but we have kept some stuff inside, so when we do have these wet days, they can come inside the building and work. So as y'all saw, there's been a lot of work going on the last 30 days and should continue for the next 30. So any questions on Madison Mill?
Looks good.
It was a great visit. Thanks for having us.
Anytime.
We were in the way, but it was a lot of fun.
Well, if you get an extra day, let us know. Since I was out of town, I'd love to come.
Anytime, you
So.
let us know, we'll take you on a tour.
He says that, but then you'll be like, oh, they've calling too many times. All right, next up, we have Travis Curry with Trace Creek Construction. He's going to talk about our Phillips Building project.
Well, good evening.
Hello.
We'll start with the Madison former Tech Center renovation. This is the little mezzanine area that you don't have quite as much space as you got at your middle school, as you can tell from them having to squat there. This is in the kitchen area above the new bathrooms that were installed. So we got that poured, and the mechanical guys are up there starting that mechanical work. This is the same area where we had to knock a hole through the wall, which goes out and ties into the new cooling tower that's on the outside of the building. This is, again, typical classroom shot, and this is showing you where we are now starting to put the systems in, sprinkler head, tying the ductwork in. You can see what we call the GRDs, which is the air distribution system. We got light fixtures going in, so it's progressing really well. Just showing you some of the little cleanup work, making sure everything's sealed as it goes through the walls, etc. Electrical panels, pulling wire. This is one of the little mechanical rooms on the first floor, just showing the ductwork tying in. And that's just a broader view of the little mechanical room, showing insulation and all the popping stuff getting tied in together to the system. Sorry about that picture being a little blurry, but that beam going through there is the new folding partition, which allows you to divide your rooms in. You got one larger room, but that's going to allow you to, if you choose, to separate the rooms. So got that beam in. This is the bathrooms that were below the little mechanical area that we just saw just a few minutes ago. Outside, used to have a couple of overhead garage doors there. Those are now going away, and you're getting a walk-through door there. Any questions about the CTC? I call it the CTC. So.
That's fine.
But it's progressing well. All the food service equipment is in, so we're on schedule there and ready as soon as we get the painters coming next week on the downstairs, start putting some block fill in, and we are on schedule for having that project ready for you. This project is actually the Phillips building, and this is another shot of the soccer field. Every time we get it ready, the weather hits us. So the soccer field contractor was here, mobilized, and he had to demobilize because other parts of the state and out of state, he had some projects that didn't have the weather, delaying them. So we just need a few days of nice dry weather and do just a little regrading to get the little soft spots out of it, and then we'll be able to get the soccer field started. In the far distance there on the right, you may be able to see the concession building, but I'll show you another shot of that in a minute. This is the underground detention center where all the water from the soccer field is drained to that underground detention center, which is underneath the parking lot, which is parking lot A, which serves the soccer field area. So that's going in. We had to hammer out a lot of rock there, but all that water will be retained underground. Another shot of the concession building, getting the trusses on, we get the sheathing going on, and hopefully, weather permits, we'll start putting the shingles on that building next week, and then we can start bricking that building. And just to the left of that is where the grandstands go. Again, we're ready as soon as the weather dries up. We need about half a day just to run the dozer over that and finish grading, and then we're ready to start putting the concrete in for where the concession, where the grandstands go. Band parking lot. The band parking lot is finished with exception of some punch list items. I just met the contractors over there. We got a little cleanup work to do. As of Tuesday, we turned that over to you all, to the high school to start using, but I think they decided they were just going to hold off since there's only 2.5 weeks of school left approximately. The light poles are up, the band tower's there, so that is usable if you guys choose to use that. This shot is the little alleyway. That is where the cheer studio is. So one of the things that we were tasked was doing, which wasn't that hard to do, taking out those old ugly grills that were up there. So we got rid of those. And now you can see it's nice and clean with drywall installed there. So we are doing final cleaning in there tomorrow. We'll be turning that over for use come Monday. This is inside the what was the old Phillips building. A lot of metal stud framework going up. Again, just another view. A lot of the block work. One of the photos I don't have in there because the roofer just mobilized today, so he has all of his materials on the roof. He will start putting the roof on tomorrow. We should be dried in next week. Get dried in, then we're going to start hanging drywall finally on the inside of the new office areas. This is, as you probably recognize, the face of the existing tech center. The mason to the left there is doing some block work. So next week we are actually going to start laying some brick on the face of this. New doorway there in the distance that's been installed. Just another shot from Georgia Street. This is again down the alleyway between where the cheer studio is and the existing Phillips building. So we are ready to really start rolling there now. Madison Kindergarten Academy. Project got off to a great start. We mobilized on May the 1st as the schedule showed. Built a temporary partition to separate the construction from the students and staff, and that also has a door in case of emergency they can still get through. If you are facing the school building, that's area B all the way down on the left-hand side. The very same day they mobilized, started cutting out this floor slab in the existing classroom that's now going to be turned into boys and girls bathrooms. Next day they took the slab out, so all the slabs been removed. We cut new doorways in that will be leading into the new bathrooms, got temporary shoring up. Down the corridors, I already got the ceilings removed. A lot of overhead work going on there. Put floor protection down to protect the existing floor, so progress is really good there. One of the things you wanted to achieve by bidding the job early is being able to procure a lot of the materials. So we have a room full of duct work. All the materials are there for the duct work. We're really starting to install that again, just in those showed all the stored materials. All the heat pumps, VFDs and stuff, all that's been ordered, light fixtures. So should be in good shape as long as all the materials show up. But again, we're ready to start putting the new in. Any questions about any of those three projects?
Has been busy.
I will say this, when your principal decides to retire over there, she is great at construction. We're tempted to steal it from you all. So, any
It's
questions?
amazing to go by the, what used to be the purple lot and just see the massive amount of dirt that has been relocated.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's
I'm
really
hoping
amazing.
if the weather breaks, we can get the soccer field guy in here and get him going. He's saying, once he gets on site, weather goes good, 35 to 40 days, he can have the soccer field done.
Nice.
So,
Awesome.
all right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
so much.
All right, next up, Mr. Thomas. Tony Thomas is here of Klopfelter Samakar. I should say Samakar, right? Architects. I said it wrong.
Good evening.
Hi.
Well, Travis and Jonathan
They
put
see
a
your
pretty
thumb.
good power. Yeah, they've pretty much already showed a lot of what I've got to show tonight, but I put a PowerPoint together, so I'll run through it here. Phillips Building is shot from Georgia Street there. You can see most of the exterior sheathing on, and you just go around to the back side where the alleyway is, and they've got that on there. They're starting to put the weather barrier on. Inside, just a maze of studs. Feels like one of those glass mirror houses when you go in there. There's the shop area. That was where an overhead door existed already, but now it's turning into more of an enclosed shop for working on vehicles. The band lot, you can see Central in the background there, and the blue football field painted on top of there, as well as the parking stripes. Just another shot there. You can see the band tower in the distance there. Daniel Boone also in the distance. A shot of the concession stands with the trusses going on. That side is facing the soccer field. The bigger hole there is where you could walk up and order a Coke. Just another shot. As he said, the weather, anything the exterior in the last 2 or 3 weeks has been difficult, but there's a lot of spaces inside on all these projects where people are able to work. So they've still managed to be productive in what they're doing. Any questions on Phillips? If not, I'll go right into Madison Middle. A good shot of the front there. You can see the block piers going in. This area, Jonathan reported, is getting ready to get roofed in addition to what's already been roofed. You can see the blocking around the windows, brick getting ready to go up. We talked about Travis talked about a partition at one of those areas in the cafeteria, and here's a beam that's going to carry a partition and a couple of rooms where you can divide it or have a full classroom size. Plumbing's going on, good progress there. A lot of work upon the mechanical mezzanine, a lot of duct work and utility infrastructure taking shape as well. That was Madison Middle. If we go to the former Tech Center, Phase 1 and 2, the big cooling tower on site now. So I'm sure maintenance is glad to see that. You go inside, there's duct work, similar shot to what Travis had, standing in the cafeteria looking at a space that can be closed off to just be a classroom or opened up and more space for the cafeteria. The mechanical mezzanine he referred to, they're hanging units in there, but accessible from a ladder from the first floor to go up. Yeah, a little less headroom there. You're right. You got to watch your head when you're walking around in there. Lots of mechanical and electrical infrastructure going in. This is a couple of hot water boilers for the hydronic system, not necessarily for domestic water, but so a lot of progress there. You get up into the cleaner area. They're really ready to kind of get the contractors out of the way and finish painting and hanging ceiling grid and lights. See another classroom there, really getting cleaned up. So that's it for the former Tech Center, and as Travis mentioned, getting into the Madison Kindergarten, the one area that was the one of the newer additions. At the left side, if you're facing the building, is where they've started, and they've moved the kids out of there and started demolition. And some of those areas where we're taking out the walls for the restrooms, they had to do some shoring first, and we're going to put some beams back in there. That's the slab area he was talking about that got demoed, and will be restrooms. And there's a lot of HVAC demolition going on right now. So a lot of the demolition has already taken place in that area. So as Travis mentioned, they'll turn right back around and start doing the install of the materials that they have on site. So good progress at all the jobs. And that's it for the construction report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tony.
Nice.
Tony, one thing I would note there real quick, and Travis as well, we're seeing a lot of work at the Madison Kindergarten Academy. I think it's important to make sure we let everybody know that work is being done after hours in the building. Yes. They're working second shift, yes.
Yeah. And that's a good point. That area is completely blocked off from the students and fenced off on the outside, blocked off with panel partitions on the inside. And they have only been working when the kids are out of school and which is afternoons and the weekend. So good point.
Thank you. All right. Next on our agenda is our action agenda. So we are going to hear from the Roberts family. It's time to discuss insurance. We're going to approve our continuation purchase of student accident insurance. Hi.
Thank you all for letting us join you again this year. We are very excited to not be on the property and liability side. As you may have heard.
Oh, we've heard.
Oh, yeah.
The student accident side's tough, but not as challenging as the other lines of coverage. What's causing problems on the student accident side is tied to healthcare. We are seeing a higher frequency of claims. The way we set our policy up, we cover all students for any school-sponsored, school-supervised activity, which is great because half of your claims are non-athletic. Recess, PE, we see a little bit of everything, slipping on a rug, going in the classroom. So the fact that you all do cover all students is a great benefit for every student at Madison County Schools. But the number of claims, we used to be at about 120 per year. Past couple years, we're averaging about 180. Obviously, football is a big driver in that. So with the more claims and with the higher cost of health care, it's a little bit of an increase, roughly 3%. To keep everything the same with Hartford, we did, where we do work with so many schools, we have access to a lot of different markets. So we also receive quotes from Zurich and Axis. And originally Hartford, they were all three around the $250,000 price range. So went back to Hartford, hometown district. It's going to be an increase, but let's see what we can do here. And the company that we use, Hartford, also uses K&K to pay claims. We love K&K because their networks are second to none. What we do is we look at your top providers, identify them, and then make sure that when a student gets injured that goes to Madison County Schools, it costs a little less. And those networks, on average, with K&K, save you about $500,000 a year. So we like K&K. We use them whenever we can. And so, yes, it's going up about 3% from $235,000 to $240,000. It's better than what we're seeing across the state. It's to see an uptick in claims and healthcare going up, a 3% is really good, especially when we know everybody else is in the $250,000 range. Having a carrier come in at $240,000, I hate that it's the first increase, but it's the first increase since 2019. That's hard to do in any line of insurance right now. So I hate that it is a slight increase, but for what we're seeing across other lines of business, it's still it's very competitive.
It's not bad at all.
Thank you, Lori.
Well, and I appreciate that you all went ahead and price shopped for us.
Always.
Yes.
You know, you've always done a nice job. with
That
it.
bid
We're
came in higher too, right?
Yeah,
It was,
So,
everybody was in the
everybody was
250,
higher.
and we don't tell them, but we say you have to do better and just make them sharpen and sharpen and sharpen. And it's an aggressive price, especially seeing the uptick in claims.
So I have a question, you may not have the answer, but, so you said we have about 180 claims, most of them are sports. How many are sports? Do you know?
So if you look at the number of claims, half are sports.
Okay.
As far as claims dollars paid out, 80% is athletic. So the frequency of claims is split, but the cost of an athletic claim is more.
Yeah.
And when we dig deeper deeper into your loss data, 20% of every dollar paid out is physical therapy. So that's athletic claims, they're seeing PT more, so that's where we're seeing those dollars paid out. The other big driver is a lot of kids go to ER, and that's the most expensive type of healthcare you can go to. So we see PTs, see the ER visits, and you know, it's not like workers' comp. You know, a football player is going to get hurt. You know, there's things we can do on the work comp side to try to prevent claims. On this type of business, what we can do is negotiate on the networks, and that's what we're doing. And that's $500,000 that would be dumped into your loss ratio, which in return, the premiums go way up. So yes, but it's good to have that network and try to negotiate the best we can. That's the only loss control avenue we have. Other than increased supervision the last month of school, we see an uptick on the non-athletic claims the last month. Kids are ready to get out. Teachers might be ready to get out as well. We see a big uptick in recess and PE claim the last month of first semester and the last month of second semester.
That's good info to know. Everybody stay in your seat.
Field days.
That's
Good
field
luck,
day.
Tony.
That's
Good
field day.
days.
Field
I wanna see the
days,
one.
more
Calm
recess.
down. It's me at home with
Yes.
my 3 kids. Calm down.
Yes.
You gotta wait till you're almost out of school.
Any other questions? No. All right. Then I need a motion to approve the continuation purchase of student accident insurance with Roberts Insurance as presented.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Ms. Cobb. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Appreciate your
Appreciate
you.
your work.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming and
Of course.
explaining it all
So
to us.
nice. As much as we travel, it's great being here. Thank you all.
All right, next is on our agenda is 7B, to renew our contract for our finance auditor provider. Mark's not with us, so Dr. Gillum?
Yeah, it's our annual audit provided by, this past year we used Patrick and Associates. We've had a contract with them for the last couple of years. The contract permits renewal for up to four renewals, and so this would be renewal 3 of the 4 if approved. I recommend that we would approve the contract with the extension of the contract with the auditor.
I agree. I think they've done a really nice job for us.
The
Any-
biggest thing is they can use Munis and they understand it. Yeah, that's a big, yeah.
All right. Any other questions or comments? All right, then I need a motion to renew the contract with Patrick and Associates as our finance auditor provider for 2023-2024 school year.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Mr. Rutherford. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Next is 7C on our agenda, to approve the fiscal year 25 site-based allocations.
Okay, so this is just our routine approval of our site-based allocations. We have a formula through the district, and based on the number of students, number of students determine the number of teachers allocated. Number of teachers allocated, square footage of buildings, determine all your classified positions. So this just puts all of those numbers into specifics, and you can see the actual number of staff and the dollar amounts that are allocated to each school. And this would include I think it's $151 per student per school for their Section 6 dollars, which are the funds you hear us talking about sometimes. Schools can spend their Section 6 to purchase different things. That's that fund, and that's where those come from. Questions?
All right, then I need a motion to approve the fiscal year 25 site-based allocations.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Ms. Cobb. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. On to 7D, to approve Section 125 plan.
Okay, so our Section 125 plan is what's also referred to as the cafeteria plan, not meaning where you get food, but our cafeteria plan, our selection of additional benefits that our staff may elect to take, which is paid for by them. They just get the group pricing on that, and also they can take most of those things pre-tax. We have to establish a vendor for that, or a provider for that 125 plan, because that group, that entity has to maintain all the tax data. So we have been using American Fidelity for years. They do a great job for us, and we recommend that we continue with that so that our staff and faculty can continue on with their same levels of coverage.
Are there any questions? All right, then I need a motion to approve the Madison County Board of Education Section 125 plan with American Fidelity and authorize Mark Woods to electronically sign the plan document on behalf of the district.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Ms. Coyle. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. 7E, to approve the physical agent. Back to you.
Okay, our fiscal agent is the group that provides us with our services for our bonds. So when we build, we have to issue bonds. It's the group that actually takes those, puts out a plan of finance, and puts those on the market for us. So we routinely will do a contract with them for a period of time. So this would be to approve our fiscal agent, RSA Advisors, which is a fiscal agent we've used for years. I will say I like them quite a bit because they're very thorough, they're very complete, and they're also very conservative in their numbers. They do not let us get overstretched on our financing plan.
He's usually here and didn't come tonight, shockingly.
They do a great job.
Yes.
They do.
All right, any questions? Then I need a motion to approve the agreement with RSA Advisors to serve as our physical agent through May 2nd, 2027.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Ms. Brock. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. 7F, to approve intent to participate in the Community Eligibility Provision Program, the CEP program.
The CEP program is the program through the federal lunch program that provides free meals to all of our students. So this would be continuation of that. I think we actually are already approved. The difference is we're just seeking additional approval because we'll have to adjust those numbers a little bit, or some of our numbers changed a little bit. But we intend to, if you all will approve that, we intend to continue to provide free lunch to our students next school year.
Any questions? All right, then I need a motion to approve the intent to participate in the Community Eligibility Provision, CEP program.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Mr. Rutherford. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. 7G, to approve Allen Company's PO. Mr. Neely, there he is.
Hello, hello.
You're in a different spot today over there.
I'm helping Tammy. She needs a little help this evening, so.
Always.
We've been talking about big construction jobs. These are two smaller jobs. There are some paving things that we are asking for you all to approve. G and H, both. One is at Foley Southern. If you take Glade Road and take a left right next to Southern going to the back portion of the parking lot, it'll kind of rattle your teeth. It's been a long time since that's been repaved. So we would love for that to be redone. And then the other is at Kirksville Elementary. You kind of look at Kirksville, it looks like it has a lot of parking, but especially the front, there's not a lot. And both sides aren't as much as what they need. So we have rocked an area in the back left, if you're looking facing Kirksville. Back left, we've got some overflow parking. We did that specifically for the drop-off and pickup because they were getting out on Lancaster Road. They were going in the subdivision causing not a problem, but it was an issue. So we have fixed that with that rock area. When they have graduation, when they have special nights at Kirksville, it's extra places to park. We would love for that to be paved as well. So that would just help things out at Kirksville Elementary. So that's what we're asking for.
Any questions for Mr. Neely?
The part at Southern, are you talking about the gravel part in the back?
No,
Or are you
actually,
talking about just
the
repaving
main
what's already there?
area, as soon as you turn left,
As soon as you turn in by
Yeah.
Foley, it should have been done
it's
about
just,
20 years ago.
I think it's
It
just a
is
lot of heavy
rough.
equipment through the years, and it's rough.
It's been patched and patched.
We've been waiting for a break in construction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The time is right.
If you
Yes.
go around back like you're going to the football field, that's the little route you're taking. It's
And we've built, we've built a lot of stuff back there, so it's just heavy equipment over time.
Yeah.
A lot of kids have big trucks.
And as a Cursville parent, a few years ago, that parking lot was needed a long
Yes.
time ago.
I spoke to the principal of Cursville the other night, and he said that gravel parking lot has made a huge benefit in their drop-off and pickup
Right.
by getting parents off of Blackshear Road.
And that's something that, Kirksville was built years ago, and what you all have done in the last several years with our new elementary schools, we have made, longer areas for cars to stack. And Kirksville has a ton of grass area that we could have looped back there, but that was years ago. More people drop off and pick up now than they used to, so, yeah, I think it will help them out tremendously.
Any other questions? All right, as you guys know from the agenda, these are two separate purchase orders. So the first one is 7G. Well, I need a motion to approve the Allen Company purchase order for milling and overlaying the parking lot at Madison Southern High School for the amount of $39,995.
So moved.
All right, motion's been made by Ms. Coyle, second by Mr. Rutherford. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Then, 7H, to approve the Allen Company's purchase order for the asphalt paving at Kirksville Elementary School for the amount of $39,080.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Ms. Cobb. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Neely. 7I is next, to approve, and I want to make sure I say it right, Kagan P.O. Did I say it right?
Absolutely.
You bring me every month something that I'm always worried I'm going to say wrong.
Appreciate the time to come up here and kind of talk about this real quick. On site visits with Dr. Gillum, especially in the fall, that was something that kept coming up from principals, is just opportunities and ways for students to get more involved in the classroom and engaging each other in conversation and different ways like that. So looking at that, and it's been several years since we've had that training here, and that being a need that our principals have talked about, Ms. Lakes has put together something to offer a training date in June and July for 45 people each session. We also, with that, as we were doing that, I really kind of talked to Ms. Lakes about the schools need to have a plan of what that's going to look like. Not only for those people that come, but how are they going to roll that out through the rest of their building? And that way we get more bang for our buck with that. So that's something we've done that we can follow up with as well.
All right, any questions for Mr. Ray? All right, then I need a motion to approve the Kagan Cooperative Learning Purchase Order in the amount of $31,410 using ESSER funds.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Mr. Rutherford. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Next, Mr. Burnett is on his way down. We're going to talk about the AV package purchase.
So, tonight we are bringing the AV package, as you said, before the board for the Old Kentucky Tech project. And so, as you saw with the construction report, that is moving right along, and it is time for us to get some orders in place. We intentionally placed this at the time of the school year when we are, just due to storage constraints and some things. And so, at this time, we are asking for $86,775.90. That will cover our interactive displays, our classroom audio, non-interactive displays in some of those sites, digital signage, and I believe that is it for this quote. And so, with that being said, submit that for your approval.
Any questions? All right, then I need a motion to approve the purchase of the Everon, the ADT commercial AV package for the former Kentucky Tech project in the amount of $86,775.90.
So moved.
All right, the motion's been made by Ms. Cobb. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
Next is 7K, to approve the first reading of our revised policies 09.422 and 09.42811.
Okay, so this is our two policies, our bullying and harassment policies. And so if you'll recall, back about a year ago, we were tasked with revising those and updating those and making sure those were consistent with our agreement with the Department of Justice. And so these are the recommendations that have come back, and recommend that we would approve that. This would be the first reading, and we would need a second reading later on. Any questions for me?
All right, then I need a motion to approve the first reading of the revised policies 09.422 and 09.42811.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Mr. Rutherford. Is there a second?
I'll second. Oops.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Next is 7L, to approve the 2024-2025 KEDC membership.
Okay, KEDC is one of our co-ops that we've been a member of for years. And our big advantage with KEDC is they provide a lot of services other than, most of our co-ops provide services that are instructional in nature or management in nature, and a lot of training pieces or special ed trainings. But KEDC is a little different. They do provide those, but our main reason for reaching out to them is they also have a lot of, they're part of the Kentucky Purchasing Co-op, or KPC, which is now shifted names. It's now Purchase Pro, I believe is the name of that. But anyway, they do a lot of our bidding for us. As Ben presented there just a minute ago on the technology purchase. I'm not sure if those specific products came from the Purchase Pro or KPC piece, but we can get technology pieces from that. I know if not there, he can check there as well as just the state bid list. But one big advantage with that is the food we buy in the cafeteria. And so we get a lower price, and then we get rebates back. So the rebates that we get, our membership fee for this coming year, I believe, is $5,600, $5,660, I think. And our rebates back through the cafeteria far exceed that. So it's financially wise to be a part of KEDC.
Any concerns, questions? All right, then I need a motion to approve the 2024-2025 membership in the Kentucky Educational Development Corporation, KEDC, as presented.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Ms. Brock. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Cobb. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Next is 7M on our agenda, to create and ratify a MSD teaching position for 2024 and 2025.
This is MSD, Special Education, also known as FMD students. We are seeing an increase in number. We're going to have to open a new classroom, so we will need to create an additional teaching spot for that at Daniel Boone Elementary.
Questions? All right. Motion to create, ratify an MSD teaching position starting the 2024-2025 school year at Daniel Boone Elementary School.
So moved.
Okay. Motion's been made by Mr. Rutherford. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Second by Ms. Coyle. That was a close one. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. 7M, create or ratify a 1.0 teaching position. This one's at Fairstown Middle School.
Yes, this is a request from Fairstown Middle School. Their SBDM has approved expending school funds to provide an additional teacher above their allocation.
Any questions for Dr. Gillum? All right, then I need a motion to create, ratify a 1.0 teaching position at Fairstown Middle School to be funded with one half of the Section 6 funds and one half Title I funds.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Ms. Cobb. Is
I'll
there a
second.
second?
I'll
Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. 7O, to approve the continuation of our contract with Mind PSI.
So this is a contract, so this is the time of year we always approve or review our contracts for additional services. So you can see the 7O here, but also P, Q, and R are all for additional contracts. So we have school psychologists employed and on staff. We also have occupational therapists and physical therapists. We have OTs and PTs full-time that are with the district. But there are different times where we need additional folks over and above that for different reasons, just to meet demand. Rather than having additional staff sit here and be on payroll, we just contract out and pay them as needed. So that's what the next four pieces are. So
Any questions? All right, then I need a motion to approve the continuation of contract with Mind PSI for school psychologist services.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Mr. Rutherford. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. 7P, to approve the contract for therapy services.
So moved.
All right,
Second.
perfect. Motion's been made by Ms. Coyle, second by Mr. Rutherford. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. 7Q, approve the orientation and mobility services for 24 and 25.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Ms. Cobb,
I'll second.
second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor? All right, 7R, to approve the occupational therapist contract with Brittany LaGrange as presented.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Mr. Rutherford. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor? Motion passes. Next is number 8 on our agenda, the superintendent's report with Dr. Gillum.
Thank you. So we are in May, and this week we're finishing up our Teacher Appreciation Week. So we want to say thank you to all of our teachers and staff for all the great things that they do. And we also appreciate our community. They always come in and provide food and different forms of recognition for our teachers this week. So we really appreciate them stepping up and doing that. This time of year is also filled with several other recognition events as well. April 23rd was Bus Driver Appreciation Day. April 24th was Administrative Professionals Day. May the 1st was School Principal Day. May the 3rd was School Lunch Hero Day. And May the 8th was School Nurses Day. So when we look at all of those things, we really appreciate all of the different areas and all the different things that they do and for our students and for our community. And while we're on the subject of recognition, Sunday is Mother's Day. So I want to say happy Mother's Day to all of our mothers out there as well. As for me, we've wrapped up school allocation meetings and as well our site visits out to all of our principals. Great work out there, appreciate that. Since then, after wrapping those up, I've been working on looking at budget items as we now have a state budget approved. And then we've also spent some time looking at policy revision possibilities for next year as that's right around the corner as well. Outside of the district, I did participate in the Senate Education Committee on Friday, April the 12th. And I attended our co-ops at CKEC and KEDC this month as well. On Monday of this week, our schools began conducting KSA state assessments. So we'll be finishing those up next week. And then our schools will be conducting several of those those fun end-of-the-year events that our students enjoy so much. And we will be careful to make sure they don't have too much fun, get injured in those. So we were reminded by our student accident insurance. But other than that, the big thing after that is our big end-of-the-year celebration. That's graduation. Thursday, May 23rd, will be Madison Central, graduating at Madison Central. And Friday, May 24th, will be Madison Southern, graduating at Madison Southern. So we're excited for those. That's my superintendent report.
And no rain. No rain.
We're getting a rain this week.
That's all right.
Hopefully get it out of its system.
Thank you, Dr. Gillum. All right, next, comments from the board. Do we have any?
I just want to say thank you to all our teachers and staff for this year. It's coming to an end, especially the teachers and the students that have been living through the construction that we've been doing. Thank you for your patience, and hopefully things will be much nicer and better when you come back next year. So just want to give everybody a big thank you.
Anybody else?
Ditto.
Ditto. I thank you guys for sticking around because it was a full room and then it emptied out when the kindergartners were here, and they're a delight. So thank you all for being here and everyone watching. Anybody else? All right, next, public comments. We have a speaker tonight, Sarah Martin. She's a Madison Central High School teacher. Please come on forward.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. I showed up tonight, I'm like, what is going on around here? It is packed. This is awesome. My name is Sarah Martin. I'm a teacher at Madison Central, and I'm here tonight to talk about two things. Just some things to bring to mind that maybe you don't know about, just to share some ideas that I've had. Currently, our district uses a discipline referral form. So I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it looks like this. And there are a lot of other electronic methods that would be a lot more beneficial. And so I just want to share those things with you. So the current system that we have is, we have it for, I think, for a long time. The problem with it is there's a teeny tiny box to write in. It's really, really small for teachers to write in. The other problem is, like if you're me and teach at Madison Central, you have to go somewhere to get this. And I have to go 3 flights to get this. And so when you're 55-minute planning hour, and I'm trying to plan my lessons, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to write a referral, I've got to go up and get this. And then I have to write it. And then I have to put it in the right mailbox. And then the admin has to go get it from the mailbox. And then they have to call the kid out. And then they have to turn the form in. And some lady types in all the data, and I don't know how she does it, because you know some people's handwriting is not so good, okay? You know, not everybody has good teacher handwriting. And so, and then as a teacher, I'm thinking, well, whatever happened to my student? And I have to go back and check the mailbox to see what happened. If we use an electronic system, I don't know if you're familiar with Infinite Campus Suite or EOS. Both of these systems you can access right from your computer. And I don't work for either of these companies. I just have used it at another district that I worked in. And it's great because automatically I can type my referral, it goes right to the admin. And what's really nice about it is you can tag all the teachers. And so in a school of 2,300 students, you know, I don't know all the teachers that my student has. And so I can tag all the teachers and you get the email right away and it shows you like, oh, this student is also doing this in another class. I had no idea. I thought it was just me. No, this is happening everywhere. And teachers can make comments on that referral and the admin gets to see it right away. And it's really great. And what that allows you to do then is, in my old school, I'd form an email with all those teachers and said, how can we help this student? Like, obviously this is a problem in all the classes, not just mine. And we get an email, you know, chat going and discuss how can we help this student so they don't get in trouble again. But right now, I don't know who my student has. You know, I'm in the basement. They're on the 3rd floor. I don't know who they have. So if we had an electronic system like EOS or Infinite Campus Suite, it would just really, I don't know, streamline our processes. And so I didn't know if there's a reason that our district is remaining with the paper-based copy, considering there's so many benefits to an electronic system. I didn't know, but I wanted to bring it to your attention. I don't even know if it's something that you guys know about, since you're not in a classroom, you're not in a school, but just something to consider. The second thing that I want to talk about is great teachers are leaving Madison County, and they're going to other districts. And we will not mention those districts, right, because we know. But we know what those other districts are doing, right? They're dangling salaries, childcare, there are all kinds of things, signing bonuses. And so what can Madison County do to entice your teachers to stay, to not leave? And so I did a little research, and I realized that teachers have to work 185 days a school year. We work 187. Fayette County, they work 189. Clark County, they work 187 as well. And so I don't know if you've ever thought about, what if in Madison County we just worked 185? We didn't work 187. Still had our salary. We still worked 185. Then you could tell people in Fayette County, well, I worked 2 days less than you. You know, I don't know. That's just something to think about. Something else that we did in my other district is we were able to flex off time. So I didn't have to work on Election Day or President's Day or a PD after school got out. What I was able to do from August to November, first election day, is I would document my hours. And teachers are always working extra hours, before school, after school, Sundays. And so I was able to document those hours, date, time, what I did. And in that time frame, I could turn in to show that I worked 6.5 hours extra time. And then if you did that, you didn't have to come in and work on election day. And it was a great thing for teachers because we are putting in the time, we are putting in the hours. I think I've worked 6.5 extra hours this week and it's only Thursday. So it was nice to feel, you know, rewarded for that, or at least appreciated or valued that I was putting in that time and didn't have to work those extra days. So just some things to think about to keep great teachers in this great county at our great schools. I love working at Madison Central. I'm really happy that I made the choice to come here. And so it makes me sad to think that people are leaving. And so what can you do? How can we get people to stay? So that's just something that I wanted to throw out to you guys, just to put in your minds. And that's all.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Martin.
you.
Thank you.
We love your
appreciate your feedback.
enthusiasm. And thank you for staying. I know you were at the end of our meeting, so
Thank you for that feedback.
yes. All right. Next on our agenda is number 11, to adjourn. So, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion's been made by Mr. Rutherford, second by Ms. Cobb. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. We're adjourned.